Hello, my dear students. This is the part 2nd, class 10th, chapter 6, Biology, Life Processes. In last part 1, we have studied about the mode of nutrition, right? The nutrition, what is the nutrition? It's okay. And besides that, the autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition, how the plant get their nutrition. In heterotrophic, we know about the holozoic nutrition. Now we are talking about the nutrition in animal. In class 10 syllabus, the nutrition in amoeba and the nutrition in human being. It's a very important part and it is given detailed. It's okay. So we have to be learn it very properly. The 3 mark questions or sometimes 1 mark questions will come from this chapter. Actually, multiple choice question or 1 mark questions quantity increased by the CBSE. So it is very important. It's enzymatic part. It's a process part. You have to be learned very well. I assure you, you are not required to learn it. If you are going to be understand in my way in a proper manner, you will not have a problem. Okay. Now let's start. The nutrition in animals. First of all, we are seeing the nutrition in amoeba. We know the amoeba is a very thin, very tiny, unicellular living organism. So, okay, that is living in water. How it get its food? It is the questions. So it get its food from a process that is called ingestion. You seeing over here ingestion. Okay, it's pseudopodia. These are the pseudopodia. These are the finger-like projections. So okay, why they are called the pseudopodia? Pseudo means false. Podia means feet. So they can be false. They may be disappear at any time. That's why they are called the pseudopodia. These movement of amoeba is due to its cytoplasmic streaming, right? So there is a 5 steps inside it. Here you see only 4 steps. First is ingestions, second is digestion, third is absorption, and fourth, this one the assimilation, and last one is aeration. So okay, I will show you again, but right now you have to be clear up from here. So it take the food inside as a whole, okay, and digest and absorb it, and lastly use it and undigested food sent out through its surface. You can see over here it is removed the food particles. It's a removed food. Now we are start from the first, that is ingestions, means intake of food. The food is intake by the help of the pseudopodia towards the inside the body of amoeba. It's a second part where the food vacuole is formed over here, right? And some enzymes will work out here. Okay, so digestion means what? Complex molecules should be changed into the simple molecule that we can absorb easily. So next step is what? Absorption. Absorption. Okay, I will show you in another slide. Now third one is assimilation. What do you mean by the assimilations? Assimilations means like a storage of the food or use of the food in by the animal is called the assimilations. And last process is aeration, the waste material which is found after the digestion, absorption and assimilation, that is moved out of the body with the in amoeba, that is by the help of the surface of the membrane. It means cellular membrane, right? So that is called the aeration, remove of the food particle from the amoeba, right? This is the same 5-step process we will see in human. So let's see, in a human, we know human is a very, very complex organism. It's very tremendous for us. It's very surprising for us. In amoeba as well as in human, the same process is going to over. That is holozoic nutritions. So okay, in holozoic nutritions, we take the whole food inside the body and then we are going to be digest it. The same will be happen in human as well. Besides that, in lion, in cat, in other animals, most of the animals has a mode of nutrition of holozoic nutrition. Okay, we have a developed digestive system. Okay, so I will show you in the next slide. Here we can see that is this is our mouth. Okay, this is our tongue, this is epiglottis, this is esophagus, this is liver, stomach, gallbladder, duodenum, pancreas, ileum, top part of the small intestine, the colon, cecum, appendix, rectum and anus. I just take the name here only. Now I am going to be explain it. The first of over here, see, we are going to be take what are the parts of human digestive system. So first, mouth. Okay, in a mouth the salivary glands are present. There are the 3 pairs of salivary glands are present over here. They secrete the saliva in the mouth. We most of the time our mouth is filled with saliva, right? It is not dry any time. Why? Just because of these salivary glands. They have some digestive juices as well. Okay, we will talk about them later, which enzymes is present is there and how it is work. But right now we are talking about the parts of digestive system. The second, that is tongue. Tongue is help in the mixing of the food and mix the saliva pretty well manner. Beside that, the teeth. Here I am not writing about the teeth. The teeth is masticate, grind the food particles. So the absorption area, the digestion area can be increased. Okay. Next is epiglottis. Epiglottis is not the proper part of the digestive system, but it helps a lot because we have a 2 pipes here in our neck. First one is a digestive tract. It means food pipe. Another one is trachea. It means windpipe. So the food cannot be entered into the windpipe, that is prevented by this epiglottis. So sometimes in 1996 I think the function of epiglottis will come in the examination of CBSE board. Okay, next one is esophagus. This is also called the food pipe. It's a completely a muscular structure. Okay, and one important thing is here, the movement of food in the esophagus is called peristaltic movement. Please learn about it. Peristaltic movement. Okay, now the food is going to in this one, that is stomach. It's a C-shaped structure. Okay, stomach has certain kind of enzymes and juices are secreted by the stomach itself. Okay, and here the liver, it is the largest gland of the body, but it is indirectly take part in the digestion. Here is the gallbladder. The gallbladder is also the part of liver. Okay, now here is another gland, that is pancreas. Okay, the pancreas is secreted some juice which help in the digestions. Now after the stomach, the food go into the another particle, that is this one, the round. It's a 6 to 7 meter long inside the body. That is the small intestine. Okay, the small intestine, right? And after small intestine, it's a large intestine. Okay, the green color part is large intestine. Okay, the breadth of the large intestine is more than the small intestine, right? But the length of the small intestine is more than the large intestine. Most of the thing you already studied in the class 7th, right? Now we are coming about the small intestine have some portion you can see, that is ileum, that is cecum, appendix, colon, the rectum. Here the part of small and large intestine given in a same manner, but first one is duodenum. Okay, duodenum is a part of small intestine, right? Here the rectum, here the cecum, here the colon. These all are the three parts of large intestine. The rectum, we know, here undigested food stored temporarily, and after that by the help of the anus it is removed out from the body. Here is the one important part, that is appendix. What we are trying to know about the appendix? The appendix is the part of the large intestine which was activated much before the time. It means in the ancient time it was useful for the digestion of the cellulose. So, okay, it is very developed in the ruminants animals, in the grass taking animals, grass eating animals, but it is not developed in our body. It is not in use right now. Okay, so it is called the vestigial organ, right? Now come in the most of the digestions happening over here in the small intestine, and then food goes to the large intestine where the water is reabsorbed over here and removed out from the body with the help of the anus. So these are the parts of the alimentary canal or the digestive system of our body. Here there is another figure you can understand from pretty well, right? Now how the process occurs of the nutrition we are going to be talk about. First of all, in the mouth, right? The food is broken down into the smaller particle with the help of the teeth. We know we have a two sets of teeth, right? In the milk teeth and the permanent teeth. Here the teeth grind the food, cut it and mix the saliva from the salivary gland. Saliva contains some enzymes, right? That is called salivary amylase, which is converted the starch into the sugar. This is the important part. Starch into the sugar. Then food passes through the esophagus and it is goes then to the stomach, right? So it means the digestion of the carbohydrate is started from the mouth. A new thing we are discussing over here, that is pH of the mouth is alkaline, right? But the pH of the stomach is acidic, right? Because HCl is present here in the stomach, right? The gastric glands, the glands of the stomach is called gastric glands, produce the gastric juice. It means the enzymes provided by the stomach are the gastric juice, which contain the three things. One is pepsin, another one is HCl, that is called the hydrochloric acid, and the mucus. It's a 3-mark questions where the function of the pepsin, hydrochloric acid and mucus came into the examination. What is the function of pepsin? The pepsin break down the protein. It means the protein digestion is going over here in stomach. Okay. Second one is a hydrochloric acid. It makes the medium acidic from the alkaline, right? And that is very important for the action of pepsin. Without the help of HCl, pepsin cannot be work. Okay. The third one, it is also hydrochloric acid. It is a very strong acid. It's a natural acid as well, and it is broke down, kill the germs which is come with our food, right? The last, talking about the mucus. Mucus is protect the wall of the stomach from the action of acid. Actually, we already talk about the hydrochloric acid is very strong acid, so it can also dissolve the wall of the stomach as well. That's why gastric glands also secrete the mucus which is between the hydrochloric acid and the wall of stomach, so stomach wall can be protected. This is also very important questions कि how the wall of stomach prevented from the HCl. So you can answer with the help of the mucus. If the mucus is not secreted, then peptic ulcer. This is a disease which is found. Then the food passes to the small intestine. The small intestine has we are talking first the upper part, which is called the duodenum. Okay, the food is mixed with the bile juice and the liver from the liver and pancreatic juice from the pancreas. This is the important point. It means in duodenum, two juices are put down, the bile juice from the liver and the pancreatic juice from the pancreas, right? Here, liver, bile juice and the pancreas put over here in duodenum, pancreatic juice, right? So, bile, the question is here, what is the function of bile juice? Bile juice broke down the fat molecules into the smaller globules. It directly not take part in the digestion, but it broke down the fat that is from the higher molecules to the smaller globules. So the function of the enzymes will be the easy, right? The pancreatic juice contain the enzymes, the trypsin and lipase. Trypsin break down the protein and the lipase is broke down the fat. Okay, the trypsin, stomach has also the protein digestion and small intestine, the trypsin work for the protein digestion. Okay, now another part of the small intestine. The wall of the small intestine produce the intestinal juice. See over here, small intestine is also provide some juices, provide some enzyme that is called intestinal enzymes or intestinal juices. The enzymes of intestinal juices convert the carbohydrate into the glucose. It means glucose is the most simpler form of carbohydrate which can be easily absorbed by the body. Second thing, fat into the fatty acid. Here the fatty acid is the smallest or simplest molecule which can absorbed by our body. Third one, acid, and it is also the glycerol. Okay, the protein is broken down into the amino acids. Amino acid is also a very smallest molecule which is absorbed by our body. The walls of small intestine have a finger-like projection that is called microvilli, okay, which has the blood vessels. So the question is coming, that is, what is the function of villi? So you can write, these are the projections, finger-like projections, which has a rich supply of the blood vessels, which increase the surface area of the absorption of the digestive food. So absorption get ease, right? The digestive food is absorbed by the blood and transported to the all cells of the body. Okay, then the undigested food passes into the large intestine. What will happen in the large intestine? This space is very important. Please learn it very carefully. After some time I will provide a particular table so that will be easy for you. Okay, in large intestine the water is absorbed and waste material is removed through the anus. Okay, in next slide we will learn about the respiration. So what we have learned today digestion in humans, digestion in amoeba, the complete digestive system, the enzymatic activities of the digestive system in human, right? It's very important. Please learn it properly. It will help you a lot. Thank you, student. If you have any issues, please let me know. Bye bye. Take care.